Hi, this is Caroline Bateman. The scores are in. I sent the questionnaire to 14 parents. 7 have replied. 4 can make Hinchley Wood and 3 can make Claygate. And I need 6 children minimum to make a club viable. So neither location is viable. And everybody has asked for individual consultancy, which I'm more than happy to give on the reduced rate. But the reason why I haven't been forthcoming in giving this consultancy before the club starts is the type of license you as a parent would buy individually is totally different to the type of license I buy as a school or a club. And I get a slightly reduced rate because of the economies of scale, only slightly reduced because there aren't loads of us. But also I provide ongoing support. I monitor how the children are going. I can fix any bugs or problems that they're having with the software that I can attempt to do in a one-off consultancy session, but would be actually quite challenging for you to do going forward as a parent. So I've been thinking about how best could I support the learning process. And for those of you that saw the introduction to Achieve Clubs and the frequently answered questions answered, one of the questions parents ask me is, could I just do this at home? And I always say, yes, you could, but there are certain things that you miss out on if you just do it at home. But absolutely better to do it at home than not do anything at all. Now, you all just need to do it at home, but I've thought of some options for helping you going forward, and they are far too complex to put in an email. So I'm creating this video and PowerPoint to try and explain them to you. If I don't answer all your questions, then do give me a call or give me an email. This is a slide I've taken out of my presentation, Achieve Club's Frequently Asked Questions. And if you weren't at Claygate Primary School and haven't seen that presentation, I would recommend you having a look, because it explains all the thought processes behind putting the club together, why we do it, and what actually happens in the club. So it answers all the most frequently asked questions. It's almost 30 minutes long, but obviously you can watch it in double time and you can skip to the relevant questions that you might want. So I would recommend having a look at that. But this is one of the slides which I look at with all parents when they ask, could my child just do the work at home? And in my 3 years of running clubs, there has actually been one child who just did the work so well at home and didn't need the club to be motivated. So those children do exist, but my children certainly weren't like that. They wouldn't do work I asked them to do. They made a real fuss. And that's why I wished there'd been a club I could send them to that would help them. So all the solutions can be used from home. You can buy individual licenses for each one, but those licenses, when you buy individual licenses, are much more expensive. So for example, Nessie Reading and Spelling, if you buy a single user license, it's £60 a year, whereas if you buy an individual I buy a license, it's £20 a year. Both of those are plus VAT. So that's a £40 a year saving if you get it through the club. And when it comes to Engaging Eyes, it would cost you £10 a month, excluding VAT, and I can get it for £7 a month. So that's £3 a month saving, which is £36 a year. So there are definitely economies of scale. There's not having to fight at home to get the work done because we reward behaviour, and there's also the opportunity that the children get to develop peer relationships and relationships with dyslexics that are older than them, and seeing them achieving and being happy to be dyslexic and academic at the same time. So I definitely think there are soft very good reasons for coming to the club, but it's not essential. But I've been thinking of this, and I've been trying to work out how can I help you going forward if we don't have a physical club. And as far as I can see, these are the disadvantages for parents that I just wanted to warn you, is you will then need to keep your children on track rather than the club doing that for you. In order to do that, you need to know how to monitor their progress and check they're progressing in the right direction. And they're not going to listen to you and take your advice in the same way they would a tutor. And sometimes problems happen with the software. And because I'm experienced with it, I often know solutions, or I know when I need to ring up the companies and get solutions, which would be more difficult for you as you're not familiar with the software. So there are some disadvantages I wanted to warn you of. The disadvantages from the children point of view is more social. They don't get to meet the other people. They don't watch the videos. They don't get prizes, which does help them get on target. So they're the disadvantages from the child's point of view. And this is what we're planning. We're going to do some individual consultancy from home. I will come to each of your homes and I will give you a reduced rate. And obviously your children are only available at limited times. I'm only available at limited times. So it will probably take me a couple of weeks to get round you all. But then I really think it would be worthwhile having some ongoing support from me. And I don't think I should come round to each of your houses, but we could just do a regular webinar where if I have the license for your child, I can let you know how they're getting on, how they're progressing, what their targets should be, and give you some hints and tips for how you can prompt them along. An idea I've had, which might be logistically impossible, but might be a great idea, is to have a periodic group webinar where we compare ideas, what's working, how we can help our children to perform better. So if you wanted to do that, let me know. And then in all honesty, if we were all comfortable with the software, if we found a time where we could get together regularly, it might not be all 7, it might be a subset, but if that is working, then perhaps I could start doing little lessons with the children and rewarding them for work done. So it is like a remote club and helping you to get them motivated to work. So that's something we might be able to do in the future, but it might just be a logistical nightmare. So right now you have 3 options. When I come over and do the consultancy in your home, you can decide to buy a one-off license for just your child that you will have total access to and I won't have any visibility of. And that doesn't mean that you can't call me up, but it would make it much harder for me to support you going forward. The other option you have when we have the individual consultancy session is for me to buy an Achieve Now license, and then you get a reduced rate, but then I can go in and monitor how your children are doing and be prepared when we talk to give you suggestions for what would work. And we have the other option, if you're interested in having the individual consultancy, getting an Achieve Now license, and letting me know that you are interested in ongoing group support. And if that interests you, do let me know. So if you have any questions, do email me, or if it's too complicated, do give me a call. I hope you realize why I've created a video, because writing all that in an email would be difficult for anyone, but particularly me, who is very dyslexic. So any questions, let me know, and I will start booking the consultancy slots as of next week. So I should let you know by Monday when the options for your consultancy slots are, but it would be helpful to know beforehand if you want your own license for the software or Achieve Now license for the software. Thank you.